Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to some more Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. We're still in the early access stage, and today we've got the entire World War II army for America. Probably not entire, actually, probably a lot larger than this, but actually here we've got about 60 to 80,000, something like that, including many thousands of tanks and many thousands of assault rifle gunners. And then also we have on the flanks, we have an American shotgun soldier, and today they're facing off against the mighty Troll. Now, worth noting here, today that have actually beefed up the Sherman tank. They've got about 2,000 Sherman tanks on their side, and they're about 2 or 3 times more powerful than normal, because otherwise these shells from the tanks tend to not do very much damage against the Trolls. So we can already see here on the right hand side, a lot of Trolls dying. Are they even getting close here to the line of soldiers or to the line of tanks? Does not look like it, but they are getting close here when they're wrapping around. Remember, there are a million Trolls, so this is going to be an extremely long battle and hard battle for Team America. Tanks here at the front already taking damage. The tanks here have 10,000 XP. Not quite sure how much damage the Troll does to hit, but it's taken quite a few hits there already and not fallen. Maybe it does like something like 200 damage or 250. But that tank is holding strong so far, and these Trolls causing all kinds of problems. Blood splattered all over it. Finally does go down. The thing is, when it hits the infantry, the Trolls do splash damage crazy, and they just like spread the troops kind of all over the place. Now this is like kind of one battle coming in here where they're all funneling through, but over here we still have another massive line. Actually, if we bring the stats up over on the right hand side, we can see there 2,000 of the US have died, and 30,000 Trolls already have died. Yeah, it's just, I think, probably just short of a million we had. The reason is some of them actually spawn on the mountains and stuff. You can actually see them over in the distance over there on the mountains. Some of them just die and fall off the mountains and stuff like that. So it's never 100% accurate. But the battle is getting fierce here, and we've already got a massive stack of bodies here for the Trolls. But they are getting close, though, and every hit they do, they will be chipping away at the damage here of the Shermans. We're running 1920 by 1080p, full ultra graphics here today. Getting a massive stack of bodies here, and we just saw a few American soldiers there flying into the air. Over on this left flank, can see the Trolls also getting close here, but there seems to be a massive congregation here of the Sherman tanks. And remember, they are beefed up. They're like 2 or 3 times, do 2 or 3 times more damage. The initial impact, the splash damage, the base damage is like, I think I increased the base damage from like 200 to 250. But the impact of the shell and the splash damage, I increased that. I'm not sure quite what the impact of the shell does, but the accuracy on the tank is 80%. And I've left that unchanged. Over here on the proper left-hand side, if we just zoom out for a little bit of scale, you can see how many Trolls are actually coming. You can see an insane amount. I think even over there in the distance on the trees, you can see them kind of everywhere. And they're coming in from all sides as well. We can actually see over here, I think, like a little enclave of American soldiers has been swarmed already, where the Trolls are actually looping around. You can see the pure numbers of them just everywhere, like ants all over the mountain. This looks like actually the shotgun troopers, or shotgun soldiers. And I don't think they're killing many Trolls here. They're just getting absolutely completely wrecked. So I think this is probably, if the Trolls are going to win, we'll just bring up the stats there and see how many are dead. So we've got about 7,000 Americans dead and 100,000 Trolls dead so far, with about 850,000 Trolls left and 60,000 Americans left. But yeah, the problem is for the Americans, especially when they're not backed up by tanks, is when they get flanked like this, then they got to shoot both ways, and that kind of is a problem. They're getting proper chomped over here on this right hand side. That group there initially already died. And now here, with every hit, these Trolls just do insane damage. You're killing like 5 or 6 soldiers in total together in one hit. You can see these are shotgun soldiers, so I imagine they're doing quite crazy damage up close. The problem is when you're getting smashed with some massive baton, you don't really have a lot to say about things. The tank's now getting kind of swarmed over here on this left-hand side, and this left flank looks like it is going to get completely swamped by the trolls, which are now, by the way, coming all the way around the back, completely flanking the American army. Both armies here are on attack mode, which means they will just chase the enemy and just fight it. They won't just hold one position, which means that they can turn around and just actually start walking towards these and shooting these. They won't just stay in that position and allow themselves to get flanked. But it does look like that's what's happened over on the left hand side. If we have a look at the top right stats now, almost 10,000 Americans died and 150,000 trolls dead, with 800,000 or just less than 800,000 trolls to kill. Over here though, the Americans seem to be doing extremely well. The trolls barely getting close. Okay, that one did get close, did a hit, but didn't seem to throw any soldiers into the air. Over here, the soldiers actually having a hard time swimming through the bodies there of the trolls. Still a high number of tanks over here, and this is a bit of a killing field for the trolls, actually. The trolls are actually getting minced over here, so it's all going to be probably about that left flank. They seem to be coming round and round. You can see in the distance there. We just go over and check the right hand side. Remember, there's on the two flanks there were the shotgun soldiers. Left flank seems to have been completely wiped out, but if we have a look over there, you can actually see the massive concentration of bullets. I think that is the shotgun soldiers there. But large numbers of American troops here. If we bring on the stats one more time, nearly 750,000 trolls remaining, but you can literally just see how much that is in terms of scale. They're actually coming around the back here. This map, by the way, is called Highlands or something like that. Whoa, I did not even realize we had these guys here. They're just kind of holding the fort, and it seems like the trolls are actually not even fighting those guys. Those are just kind of spawned on the mountain. Maybe they are stuck. The trolls seem to be having a hard time getting to them. Okay, these ones are dying. But yeah, that is a little bit of a mess there on the right-hand side. So the right side's very interesting. The left side, the trolls are clearly winning. That is an insane amount of bullets. Can the trolls even get through it? I can barely see through the camera here. Yeah, you can tell the FPS dropping there with the amount of bullets. That is insane. It's hard to even figure out what's going on there. I think as soon as the troll pops his head over there, he's literally dead instantly. But the numbers here are going to thin because they're having to go back. They are getting flanked again by the trolls. Now over on this right hand side, because there's just so many. They're literally coming over all the hills. This is going to be a weird, interesting battle. I wonder if the trolls are going to ever be able to kill him there. We just bring up the stats again. 13,000, nearly 14,000 US dead, with 42,000 remaining. A large proportion of that, though, is the tanks. I'm going to guess that probably like 1,800, maybe 1,500 tanks still remain. And the tanks seem to be pretty strong against the trolls. Not like they take like 2 shots and then go down. They take quite a few hits. But the problem is for the tanks now, they seem to be just shooting close range. They're not firing their shells far into the distance. They're having to fight close range, and therefore you may take hits, and then therefore your numbers may slowly dwindle. And then at some point it will completely snowball and you will get completely overwhelmed. Just zoom out for a little bit of scale. It looks like they're kind of holding there because these trolls here are kind of funneled through that position. But you can just see into the distance how many, truly a million trolls it is. It's literally insane. But the problem is now that they are getting completely flanked. The tanks are having to turn around and fire on 2 fronts now. The front seems to be holding quite nicely, but they are getting close now and actually getting some hits off because some of these tanks are having to turn around and actually fight at the back. Nice mix of infantry and tanks though, but some of the tanks here are getting caught out in the open. This one here is surely going to go down. Surely what he should be doing now is actually retreating some more to the line. But he's acting as the bait at least. He disappears. Bring up the stats once again. 16,000 US dead. Nearly 17,000. 34,000. Yeah, but we added 50,000 Americans in the beginning, so it's not the entire army of the World War II by no means. I'm sure it was way higher than that. But certainly a decent chunk here for this battle anyway. Interesting with rifles, shotguns, and tanks. Beefed up tanks, might I add. Compared to the game's default. Are they actually able to take down all of these trolls? And there is an insane amount. If you just look at that, what the trolls have actually got to face there. That's literally a true no man's land. But the problem is for the Americans, around the back, these trolls are still encircling and they're all coming through the woods. Oh, not even through the woods, just coming across the grass plains. But these tanks here at the front, you can see the ones in red. They are the ones going down. And this left-hand flank has been completely obliterated now. Like a massive column of tanks here is encircled. And no doubt this is going to be crushed in a matter of seconds. All of the tanks now very close range. Not got that thin layer of rifle soldiers anymore. Although there are some. What would you do at this stage? Would you run away into the forest? I think I would be running away in the forest or playing dead or hiding inside one of the tanks. And yeah, pretending the tank is already dead, because I don't think they are going to win this battle. Although there's quite a few Americans here. Maybe if they hold one specific area, like one specific choke point. This is still looking ferocious, man. Look at that. But the problem is, again, though, when they're getting flanked, and they're already getting flanked, so the Americans are having to pull back their numbers here, leaving this lot to continue fighting this massive onslaught of units coming forward for the trolls. So although it looks like a lot of the trolls are dying, and you'd be right to say that, they are getting closer now because a massive load of those tanks have had to come back and actually fight this. Probably one of the most interesting battles I've seen, actually, on UEBS. But certainly looks like the Americans are losing. Only 30,000 of them left. They've lost almost 20,000. Yeah, but this encirclement here is absolutely insane. And when all these trolls now become freed up because they've actually dealt with this, they're then going to encircle the next bit. And it's just going to be like Pac-Man going along, eating his circles, whatever he's eating in that game. And that's going to be very hard. Like this area here, when you've just got single units, or just a few units, and they get completely encased and circled by these trolls, that's when it gets harder and harder and harder. And already you're seeing the numbers go all the way around. We look at the kill-death ratio. We lost 20,000 soldiers for 370,000 trolls. So that's like a what? 5, 10, 15... It's almost a 20 KD ratio, isn't it? Probably just a little bit short than a 20 KD ratio. Every unit is getting about 18 kills so far. But that KD ratio, I feel, will get worse as it starts to snowball for the trolls. Yeah, it's quite clear these tanks doing amazing damage now. Because before, they were kind of shooting and they weren't really doing anything. But I feel like if you did shoot a troll, especially point blank, with a tank shell, I think it would just explode it, to be honest. If you hit the ground near it, I think it probably would throw them back a bit. Kind of like it is now. I feel like that's a little bit more realistic. Because we are going for ultra realism here, by the way. 1 million trolls is probably very realistic. Going back in time to fight in World War II, probably very realistic. We just zoom out here for a little bit for scale. You can still see them all the way to the horizon still coming, although we are nearly down to half the amount of trolls. A lot of them have died, and a lot of them have died actually in this particular spot. I should see the ground raised a little bit there. There's so many numbers coming forward now on all of these tanks. This is where it's happening. This is the encirclement on the flank, this left flank. It's all been about that so far. 21,000 Americans dead, or units dead. These tanks are holding off a bit at the back, but the problem is you can't see when a tank is dead. I wish it would like leave a tank shell or a tank hull. Like you see the troll corpse, you could actually then gauge how many tanks you think we lost. I feel like that'd be pretty good. But But maybe they took it out for some kind of performance. Or maybe it would stack weird. Got a lot of tanks stacked on top of each other. There is already weird things that happen with this turret, by the way. Sometimes it looks like it's looking right into the sky. When the enemy's really far away, it really looks into the sky. Right, so the left-hand side is definitely slowly being lost. But if we check over on the right-hand side, what is going on over there? Here has always been a strong point. There's still loads of soldiers here. They are literally holding the fort. I don't think... Are they taking any losses here? Hard to see any... Ooh, did he do a hit? Even if they break him through and doing 1 or 2 hits, as soon as they break off a few of the numbers, the Americans won't be able to hold as well. Remember, the Americans are probably going to push forward because they are an attack move as well. Yeah, over here you can tell the FPS is dropping. I've turned the FPS display off, but you can tell. That's why I'm moving around my mouse there. That's lagging a little bit there. Americans are holding strong here as well. This seems like the shotgun guys. So they are holding strong. We're down to 480,000 trolls and 25,000 Americans. I genuinely don't know how this is going to end, but I have a feeling that the trolls are going to win. I suppose you could multiply that up, that KD ratio, and see. It's going to be close, actually. Going to be close. But yeah, it's all about this other flank, and they are getting absolutely destroyed here. So whilst all them that other flank there might be doing so efficiently, here might be doing quite efficiently as well. But as soon as they get wrapped around like this, all of a sudden that efficiency is going to go out the window and they're going to get overwhelmed. We just have a look again for scale. How many trolls are actually coming? Forget looking at the KD ratio and all that kind of stuff. If you just look here, how many are actually left to come? What does 480,000 remaining trolls look like? And actually, some of the shells, interestingly, are actually hitting up here from the... That's what it looks like. That's what 1 million trolls attacking all of them soldiers. 50,000 soldiers, including tanks there. Looks like. But you can still see the encirclement here. And every time that wraps around, another chunk of American units is going to go down. I seriously doubt that they can hold, although they have killed 443. Oh, no, wait. They've killed... Whoa, they've killed 506. They've killed half. They've killed over half. That's quite insane. And there's still 22,000 of them left. But yeah, a hell of a lot of it is that and how efficient they've been on that side. But how long can they keep that up? Because this... I mean, this is looking kind of okay. Okay, there's a few tanks there that are probably going to go down. But the problem is now that these are all going to get encircled. And you can see that one tank getting absolutely destroyed. Poor tank. Yeah, it just disappeared. And now there's a massive load of trolls coming. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. You never want to get flanked in a battle. I'm not a general or anything like that. But I can tell you from RTS experience, you never want to get flanked. Tanks are holding up nicely. I haven't increased their HP or anything. I've only increased their damage, just so they're more effective against the trolls. Called it Sherman Ultra. However, after several hits, they are going down, and now all of this is kind of encircled. How long, realistically, could a tank hold on against a bad boy like that? I feel after just a few hits, it probably would mangle your turret. Maybe even just one hit from that beast. Because look, he's about as tall as the tank. No doubt, if he hits that, it's going to buckle it and you're not going to be able to shoot anymore. If he hits the track, it's probably going to buckle the track as well. What's it made out of? Bone or something? Yes, this section is all going to be lost. I was going to say it's going to take some time, but probably just a few minutes realistically, because now completely encircled. Over here now, this has been the most efficient part for the Americans. We're now on 25,000 Americans dead, 18,000, nearly 19,000 remaining, 400,000 trolls remaining. It's actually going to get pretty close, but it all comes down to this flank. And I just, like, even though the numbers are looking good for the Americans in terms of how much they've killed, it's looking bad for them in how much they've lost as well. And actually, when you just look at the map and you see all, like, the trolls are still on that mountain over there in the distance. Based on that, like, without looking at the numbers, how realistic is it they're going to win? These guys are probably thinking, yeah, you know what, we've easily won this. They're not breaking through at all. But little do they know, they're about to get completely flanked. They're already getting flanked once. We've actually got a mountain of bodies here. The guys on the hill do seem to have gone down. When you just look at the sheer numbers though, man, it needs to be, it's been efficient so far, but it needs to be even more efficient going into this next part. And the flank has already begun on this super solid section. Such a shame for the Americans here. Because now they have to pull half of their army back to fight these. Now that leaves their efficient front line here now open, taking hits from these trolls. And all of a sudden now they are taking heavy damage here. We just zoom out now to put this in perspective. Those guys there are completely encircled. Americans are trying to hold on for dear life, but there are only 15,000 remaining. They have killed so many trolls, almost 600,000 trolls dead. Another group encircled and killed. There's just so many coming, man. Even though they have killed 600,000, there's still 350,000 on the way. Yeah, now is the time to start to get worried for these guys over here. These shotgun soldiers have been holding up very nice. The damage they are doing and the rate of fire seems absolutely insane. They don't need to stop to reload or rest or anything like that. "12,500 soldiers remaining, including many of those are tanks. Many of them are also the shotgun soldiers. But they are now getting encircled. And that is going to snowball fast, man. That is going to snowball fast. Yeah, I don't think the Americans are going to be able to do it, but they are putting up an amazing fight. We're on 345,000 trolls remaining. It just seems to be so many, even though we're looking at those numbers and like, yeah, like 2/3 of them have been killed now. 2/3 are dead, but then you still look to the horizon and they're still coming for miles. This has been the most efficient section though. Literally, as soon as the trolls put their head over here, they're literally getting hit by the hail of bullets here. It's these guys, I didn't even know they were in there. But they are getting hit now. They are getting hit. Yeah, you can see the bodies flying there, getting hit hard. Considering how many units are on the screen, the attention to detail is actually crazy. Yeah, this was the most efficient section before, but it's now completely surrounded. No more US remain over there. And now it is a complete encirclement of the last remaining troops. Those guys there are surely going to die. The tanks can't even back them up now because they got to worry about their own life. We are down to 326,000 trolls, down from roughly 1 million. Yeah, definitely over 2/3 dead. A lot of their bodies are in this exact spot. We're below 320,000 trolls, but we're on 7.7k Americans. A lot of them are tanks. I think we started with like 2,000 tanks. And yeah, remember there are these beefed up tanks that just don't know. If we top the numbers up, if they are going to quite tip it in the Americans' favor. Still bodies flying all over the place, still trolls going down, but also as these tank numbers get smaller and smaller, it's going to become harder and harder. Nearly at the 300,000 mark for trolls remaining. If you just look at the sheer numbers of how many are coming, it's absolutely insane. As these tanks, you don't really know where to shoot, and I don't think these Sherman tanks can actually fire and shoot at the same time. Otherwise, you'd be saying, why are they not reversing? I don't know if that's like realistic, how it is in real life, if they need to stop to shoot. Maybe it is the case, I'm not sure. Yeah, in this game, certainly it feels like when you shoot, the tank really slows down or completely stops. But yeah, don't know how that is in real life. But yeah, every unit is almost encircled now. Feel sorry for these guys because these have been so efficient. Actually, these guys are actually now being pulled back from this super efficient section. That's like a strong point really for the Americans, these shotgun soldiers. We're at 290,000 trolls, 6,000 US. Don't know, man. I don't know. It's quite close. I just feel like the Americans just can't do it. Just need maybe a few more numbers. Because the Americans have lost a lot of units so far, but they've actually been weak riflemen. Whereas now they're losing key units. Which are the tanks. I know they've lost a lot of tanks already, but now there's a big blob of them here. And the more key units you lose, the less DPS is put out, the worse it's going to get. Nearly at 5,000 Americans remaining. Yeah, you can literally, it's only that what we can see on the screen. Okay, there's a small group here as well. It's literally only that. So even if it looks like 5,000 Americans still remaining, it's literally all on screen there. I think a lot of them actually are these. And this is where actually when the trolls start hitting this, they're going to be killing like 5 or 6 soldiers at a time per hit. Yeah, these shotgun soldiers I think are underrated. It didn't When you think of World War II, you don't really think of shotgun soldiers, I think. In all the war films I've watched, assault rifles and stuff, I think you regularly see shotguns being used in the films. The group of Americans here getting smaller and smaller. We're at 260,000 trolls, but that's still an insane amount. They still killed, the Americans still killed 3/4 of the army. But ultimately, they need probably just a few more troops. I feel like another big group of this, at least, like held up in some kind of a choke point somewhere, could be really beneficial. I wonder when these tank shells are hitting like really far back. Are they actually killing a load of stuff? Yeah, they... Oh yeah, they did. Just killed like 2 or 3. Don't even know where that went. But yeah, they are killing some. Yeah, insane they're shooting so far back. I don't know if they're just... Oh yeah, it must be the accuracy, because on the 80% accuracy, it says 20% of the shells are actually just going off target and hitting right back, but they're actually still killing stuff. Yeah, the numbers of the Americans are getting insanely low now. I don't think they are quite going to do it. We're below 1,500, 1,300. It's basically like a seconds counter now, isn't it? It kind of does snowball. Once you pass the tipping point, that is it. Nearly less than 1,000 Americans. That is unfortunately going to be it. 900. This is the strong point, but the numbers are just too thin now. 700, 600, below 250,000 trolls though, but it's just nowhere near enough. We need another big group of Americans like that with a lot of these shotgun soldiers, which seem to be insanely strong. Less than 300. They're completely overwhelmed at this point. Yeah, the tanks can take quite a few hits. Probably can hold for another couple of minutes at the very max. We're down to almost less than 100 Americans. (102, 101, 99, 97). 245,000 trolls remaining. This is the last group of tanks. Unfortunately, they are not going to be able to hold. But they did kill a hell of a lot. They killed 704,000. Which means there must have been, yeah, they must have spawned in 950,000. Or maybe they spawned in 1 million, but loads of them fell down the mountain or something like that.
Just get me in close. $46, $44. But at this point, they're killing like what, 2 or 3 trolls per hit, something like that. Yeah, it's not enough, fortunately. Nearly less than 30 tanks remaining, 243,000 trolls remaining. Yeah, even if they wanted to drive over the trolls, I don't think they can do that actually. They just take insane damage. A lot of these units are actually still riflemen in here. But they are also getting obliterated. Like, what do you do now if you're that rifle guy there? Do you just like hide under one of the tanks or something? Can you even get under there? I don't know. 11, 10. So completely surrounded. 9, 7, 5. There must be another couple of guys remaining. Where the hell are the other guys? There's 2 guys remaining. They must have spawned somewhere weird, but I'm going to consider that over. The trolls have won. 242,000 remaining from almost 1 million. And they killed... how many did they kill? It says 33,629 Americans they killed. Yeah, I thought I added closer to 50,000, but maybe not. But yeah, GG. Well played to the trolls.